Life has always been unpredictable. One moment, someone is still smiling on screen, greeting fans with warmth and endless energy, appearing full of dreams and plans for the future. Then suddenly, everything changes. A life that once seemed so full of promise disappears without warning, leaving behind silence, grief, and countless unanswered questions. Nothing in this world lasts forever. And perhaps that is why the sudden passing of actor Jin Zae, at just 33 years old, has shaken so many people so deeply. His departure was not only heartbreaking for his family and loved ones, but also devastating for fans and countless netizens who had followed his journey over the years. At an age when many people are still building their dreams, shaping their careers, caring for aging parents, and planning their future, Jin Zae's story came to an abrupt and painful stop. When the news of his death first surfaced, disbelief spread rapidly across the internet. How could this happen? He was still young. He seemed fine. Was he overworked? Questions flooded social media almost instantly. In today's digital age, silence often creates even louder noise. The less information people receive, the more speculation begins to grow. Within hours, rumors surrounding Jin Zae's death started spreading uncontrollably online. Some claimed he had collapsed from exhaustion due to intense filming schedules. Others speculated that an accident had happened on set and was somehow being covered up. A few even began questioning whether production teams had failed to ensure his safety. The internet became flooded with theories. Everyone seemed to have an opinion. Everyone wanted answers. And yet, very few people actually knew the truth. As speculation intensified, emotions among fans became increasingly overwhelming. Many struggled to accept that someone who appeared healthy, hardworking, and professionally active could suddenly disappear from the public eye forever. Then finally, after days of confusion and growing rumors, Jin Zae's agency released an official obituary statement. The announcement clarified one crucial fact: Jin Zae passed away at his private residence in Hangzhou. This single statement immediately shut down many of the circulating rumors. There had been no tragic filming accident, no fatal incident on set, no workplace disaster hidden from the public. The truth, at least in that regard, was far different from what many had imagined. Yet one detail remained noticeably absent. The official cause of death was not disclosed. Instead, the agency respectfully asked the public to refrain from making assumptions or spreading baseless speculation. For many people online, this decision sparked even more confusion. Why hide the reason? Why not tell the public the truth? What are they trying to protect? At first glance, withholding such important information may seem suspicious to some. But perhaps, if we stop for a moment and look deeper, we may begin to understand something profoundly human behind that silence. Because not every truth belongs to the public, and not every pain should be exposed to millions of strangers. Sometimes silence is not about secrecy. Sometimes silence is protection. Jin Zae was only 33 years old, an age widely considered the prime of life. The years when dreams are still growing, careers are reaching new heights, and life seems to be finally taking shape. For Jin Zae, success did not come overnight. He began his career in modeling before gradually transitioning into acting. Quietly and steadily, he worked hard behind the scenes, building his reputation project after project. He was never someone who relied entirely on overnight fame or massive headlines. Instead, he climbed carefully, patiently, silently, and eventually, people began to notice. His performances gained attention. His name slowly became more recognized in the entertainment industry. His career trajectory was moving upward. Many believed he still had so much left to accomplish. More roles to play, more stories to tell, more milestones waiting ahead. A brighter future seemed to be unfolding right before him, which is exactly why his sudden departure feels so difficult to comprehend. But beyond the shock felt by fans, perhaps the deepest pain belongs to those closest to him, especially his family. Imagine watching your child grow for over 3 decades. Watching them struggle, fail, rise again, work tirelessly toward their dreams. Finally seeing them establish themselves and create a meaningful future. And then, without warning, everything changes forever. No parent is ever truly prepared for that kind of loss. No amount of time can soften the devastation of losing a child. And while grieving such unimaginable pain, Jin's family also found themselves standing in the middle of public scrutiny. Questions, rumors, speculation, endless discussions from strangers online. If the detailed circumstances surrounding his passing had been publicly revealed, what might have happened next? In the age of the internet, tragedy often becomes content. A deeply personal loss can quickly turn into headlines, theories, gossip, and endless interpretation. A single detail can be twisted, misunderstood, sensationalized, repeated over and over until it no longer resembles reality. And in many cases, families are forced to relive their grief again and again because public curiosity never seems to stop. Would that not become another form of suffering? A second wound placed on hearts already broken? Perhaps this is the real reason behind the silence. Not because anyone is trying to hide the truth, not because there is some scandal waiting to be exposed, but because there are people still trying to survive an unbearable loss. People trying to protect the dignity of someone they deeply loved. Sometimes compassion means choosing what not to say. Sometimes love means protecting someone's peace, even after they are gone. In many cultures, particularly across Asia, preserving dignity after death is deeply important. Not every private matter is meant to become public discussion. Not every painful detail deserves to be dissected by strangers. There is a difference between public concern and invasion of privacy. And somewhere between curiosity and empathy, boundaries must still exist. The principle of not speaking carelessly about what we do not fully understand is perhaps one of the greatest forms of respect we can offer the deceased. Yet in today's online culture, patience has become rare. Everyone wants answers immediately. Everything moves fast. Information spreads instantly. Opinions form within seconds. And empathy often struggles to keep up. Freedom of speech is important. But freedom should never become an excuse to violate someone's privacy or spread harmful rumors. Because at the center of all of this is a human being who has already lost his life, and a family still learning how to survive without him. Perhaps what is needed most right now is not more speculation, not more theories, not more sensational headlines, but kindness, understanding, and quiet respect. Jin's may have left this world far too soon. At only 33, his life feels unfinished, his story interrupted before its time. Yet the effort he gave, the dreams he chased, and the memories he created will remain with those who admired him. His passing is a painful reminder that life can change without warning, that tomorrow is never promised, and that behind every tragic headline, there are real people carrying unimaginable pain. May his family find strength during this heartbreaking time. May people choose compassion over assumptions. And may we all learn that sometimes the greatest form of respect is not demanding every answer, but allowing someone to leave this world with dignity and peace. Rest in peace, Jin. You left too soon, but you will not be forgotten.